hobby barf everywhere.
Hobby barf everywhere.
Is this not hobby barf? There's all of the miniature things. There's all of like my sewing and yarn things, and then right down here, this canned air for the computer things.
Yeah, it's hobby barf. Like, I don't disagree with you. I just feel like that's our title, and this is going to be our intro clip before the music starting for our title card. So, welcome to the Northern Is podcast. This is episode 197, and we've reached 2021, which means we're back to recording. Pardon the cough, guys. We're having a bad allergy day today. My name is Jocelyn. My co-host is
Diana.
And we talk pretty much everything in between what we enjoy and all the hobby crafts that we do, which can be extensive some days.
So many things and diversions and tangents
and we're both underslept and over-caffeinated, so it's going to be one of those days. Grab a cuppa, sit down. This could take a while.
We may have stayed up till 3 or 4 in the morning playing video games last night.
I am not a spring chicken. Why did I do that? Whatever. You stole a bucket and got us into a fight with the local city.
The entire town. Yeah, it was great. Good times.
Good
What
does
this bucket do? Why is it outlined in a different color? What happens if I click on it? Oh, it aggroes the whole town. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Now we know. Oh gosh, that was delightful. That was very fun. I thoroughly enjoyed doing that. I thoroughly don't think I could do that again for several days. I am so tired.
Fair.
I'm going to be extra sniffly and sneezy today because of it, because my allergies do not not sleep white days. So this will be fun. Lots of cuts coming your way, guys. It is what it is. All right. I suppose you should let everybody know what we're going to cover this week.
Since I actually had to write show notes again, I
know.
Blew my mind a little bit. Today we've got What's in Your Cup, Cool Threads, Woolly Workings, Wool Gathering, and Literature.
Woohoo! Hey, it's New Year. I'm reading.
Yeah?
I set a ridiculous goal in reading, because why not?
I'm going to set the same goal because I only just barely made it.
Suppose I'll start with What's in My Cup. Still in a Christmas mug. If you guys are longtime watchers, you'll know I drink out of my Christmas mug all year round because it's my biggest mug. I have some Alpine Punch, which Diana sent me for Christmas.
Yeah. It's from the, there's a little shop in Kitchener in Belmont Village called All Things Tea. Mm-hmm. And as of tomorrow, which will be a couple of days in the past when you're watching this.
Timey-wimey.
Wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey. As of Monday, January the 4th, they are shipping outside of the Kitchener-Waterloo area.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I mean, it wouldn't have slowed me down any. I just would have been like, I need more tea. Go tell me what my options are and what I owe you. Which, I mean, I fully expect you to do for me at some point. This company doesn't ship and I need it. Go get some. Okay. I feel this is fair. I can do it. It's good. We're good. Where are we?
We're good. I was going to talk about what's in my cup.
Oh, good. Let's do that. Oh, man.
Okay. Let's see. I have a cup that I got for Christmas from my mom. It has a meme written on it that in wonderful meme fashion got a little bit stretched in the printing process. So it's just like extra weird.
Uh-huh.
But it's a lady in an office-y suit at the top, and she's asking, and what new skills did you acquire during self-quarantine? And the bottom picture is a dude with his mouth over the mouth of a teapot, blowing a stream of tea out the spout into a teacup.
You know.
So, yeah, in my stupid meme mug, I have just a cup of Yorkshire orange pekoe tea with milk and sugar because it seemed like that sort of a day.
It is that
seemed
sort
like
of day.
It felt like a classic cup of tea day.
It is totally a classic cup of tea day. Me and this yarn that I am sewing with. Holy Hannah. I don't have a lot in the way of cool threads. It's just my usual assortment of socks and cardigans here around the house because I don't go anywhere. So
I went for a walk. It was the longest walk I've been on in probably several months, and it wasn't that long a walk.
Oh dear.
Which is very sad. I learned that when you don't walk around a lot and then you go walk around for an hour, your hips get sore.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, on this walk, I was wearing the Rivers wrap, which is the bias striped scarf that I did for the podcast anniversary a couple of years ago.
It was like either our first or our second. I think it was our first
It might
podcast
have been our
anniversary.
first, yeah.
Yeah. I think it was our
And
first.
I have also worn the alpaca shawl that you gave me for Christmas a couple of times.
Good.
Bless you.
It's going to be a sneezy weekend. Because I'm a genius. I can't decide if I'm going to sneeze or not.
Oh, I hate that.
Okay. Well, if we know what we all drank in our cups, and we know that we kind of didn't really go anywhere because you're not really supposed to right now in either of our locations, I suppose it means we should talk about what we've been working on.
We should. I have 3 things, and I believe you have 4.
4. Which is, again, if we started off the new year with the same number of items, people would think something was horribly wrong. All right.
I've got more than 2, and there's new stuff. There's new stuff.
New stuff, more than 2. Crazy talk. Brand new year.
I know.
Exciting stuff's happening.
Wild. It's wild.
Wild. We're going to talk about what I'm working on first. This week, I finished crocheting the last of the granny squares I needed for the blanket of doom.
Woo!
So I had
Round of applause.
I had 80 left in the dark gray to make, which I made this week. So that is 82.5-inch granny squares on a worsted 4-weight yarn, which on a 5mm hook, which is the hook size I'm using, is 2 rounds. That's right, 2 rounds of granny squares. I do the granny square just long enough to realize I'm doing a granny square, and then I bind it off.
And almost makes it sound like you get as far as like, oh, this is granny square. I'm done with you. Let's try something else. Oh no, it's granny square.
Pretty freaking much. It's like, why did I even start? I'm done. Okay, what? That makes a grand total of 768 granny squares have been made since last March. Because now we're at the end. I'm okay doing the math to find out the numbers of that because I did not want to do it beforehand. It would have been way too daunting. I would have never done it. Never, ever done it. So what I'm doing right now is stalling because I'm currently sewing in squares. So I finished sewing in the bottom quadrants. So what I did is I broke the blanket up. I started sewing it together from in the middle out to the widest part the blanket would be. And then I started sewing down 1/2. So I sewed the center part, and then I had 2 sections of the bottom. I had the middle bottom and then the 2 corner quadrant sections. So I finished those. So now I'm working on sewing the middle top piece, and then I've got the 2 top quadrants to sew. But I do not have to crochet any more squares. We're done with squares. We're just sewing and then a border. Sewing and a border.
Nice.
And in about 2 stitches, I can hold up a blanket and show you guys the progress on this one. I'm doing this all out of Burnett Premium in shades of blue. And because we've used such a small square, it has made a very lovely diamond pattern out. The pattern is gorgeous. Will I ever make it again where I sew the squares together separately when I'm finished? No. Absolutely not.
Is this a crochet as you go type thing if you ever do it again?
If I ever do this again, it's a crochet as I go, even though it'll make it just obscene to work on. So this is very, very large, you guys. So I'm literally just going to show you a portion of it because it's a queen-sized blanket is what I'm working on. So here it is.
Oh, but that looks so good. Like I kind of want to make one.
So much blanket going out. Like we still got blanket, we still got blanket, we still got blanket, we still got blanket. Look at that. There's an edge. That's a bottom edge, people. It looks
so good, though.
That's a bottom edge.
Oh, man.
And yeah, you could totally do it as you go from one corner across and crochet them together as you go. That I would absolutely do again, but I will not sew this together again by hand at the end of it. It is huge. It consumes my lap. It spills on the floor. It will fit a 64. What is a queen size? Queen size bed is like 65 inches by 80 inches. So that is how big it will be when it's finished. I still have to do the border for it, but that is okay. I'm currently working my way through the last of the middle top piece. So the middle top is a repeat of light blue, medium blue, dark blue, and gray. And then I've got my 2 quadrants. So like I'm in the home stretch for the bulk of this blanket. Home stretch. We've been making progress, people. It is slow, but I may actually be done this before January's over. Woohoo!
There's light at the end of the tunnel.
I have no idea how excited I am by that. So, funny story. I did a bulk of this, like putting this together at my mom's house. Like I started putting it together when I was visiting my mom for like the 2 months earlier this year. My dad sleeps on the couch. He finds it helps with his back. It helps, like he finds it comfortable, so he'll sleep on the couch, right?
Mhm.
So he was cleaning the couch one day. I have been home since the first week in November. It is now the first week in January. They found 2 balls of gray yarn and a couple of free-handed squares. They've been in the couch since I left. How has he not noticed this?
That's a while. Like, that's a couple of months.
My mom's like, what we found in the couch. And I went, well, at least explains why I'm short 2 skeins of gray yarn. I couldn't figure out where they were. You just noticed them now? Mom's like, yeah, we're not
That's
talking about that.
amazing.
Like, cool.
Wow.
Can you put that in the mail for me? Mom's like, yes, I can. I'm like, sweet, thanks. So my mom's mailing
That's
me
amazing.
yarn.
That's
My
amazing. I
yarn.
love it.
I was like, because I'm like, I'm short 2 balls of gray. Do I have enough gray to finish the border? Where are these 2 balls of gray that I'm missing? They were in the couch, my mom's house, have been since, October.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
Yep. That's the blanket of doom for you people. It's a thing. You're up.
Okay. So I'm going to
Just
start
whips out a blanket project.
Whoosh.
Oh no! We did a podcast between Christmas and New Year's. So I've already talked about the new cozy memory blanket. Okay, I was like, what? Did I forget a project? No, I didn't. Okay, we're good. I'm tired. So tired.
Okay, so I'm going to start by talking about the thing that is not new.
Okay.
So I'm still working on my boxy cropped sweater.
That's
because
fine.
these sleeves, I have picked up the sleeve I think 4 different times and knit the entire sleeve once. And upon finishing the entire sleeve the last time, I discovered that I had in fact calculated the number of stitches I needed for it to be tight around my wrist. However, I did not account for the amount of stitches that I needed to go over my hand to get it onto my wrist, and the whole sleeve was just like really tight and like not what I wanted. I want this whole thing to be like loose and baggy and comfy. So I have ripped the sleeve back again, and I'm knitting the sleeve again. And somebody in the chat on that episode had suggested that I pick up 2 stitches, or
Forever.
pick up 2
make
stitches and
make a balloon effect essentially. Yeah.
Basically, yeah. So I couldn't quite figure out how to pick up 2 stitches in each stitch, so I just picked up the 1 stitch all the way around and then increased. So instead of 20 stitch sleeves, I have 40 stitch sleeves.
Okay.
And you can see they're much bigger.
They are definitely getting that more balloony effect you were going for.
Yeah. So I'm going to continue on with this till about 3 inches before my wrist, and then do the 3 inches of ribbing, which will not be 8 stitches this time. It'll be at least 12.
Okay.
Haven't quite figured out the math to get from 40 stitches down to 12. I think I'm going to have to do basically 2 rounds of knit 2 together, so it's going to go cinch. And it's definitely going to be balloony, so we'll have to see. I may end up pulling this thing back to the elbow and adding some decreases.
That's fine.
We'll see. This is the design process. It's a lot of work.
It is. It's
I did not anticipate the sleeves being the hard part. I don't know why. Sleeves are hard. This is what I have learned. Sleeves are hard.
Sleeves are hard.
But we still have a nice clean pickup and then a bunch of knit front backs, and I'm just a few rounds in to this really big sleeve. And all of this was a sleeve. It's going to go back into the sleeve. On the plus side, this, like all of this sweater, plus this that I haven't knit with one time already because it was not part of the sleeve the first time.
Mm-hmm.
That's only 2 cakes.
Oh, you got so many cakes.
Yeah, I got like 7.
So many cakes.
Yeah.
Excellent. You can make a different size one. Start testing out your math for size variations.
I'm gonna learn how to do pattern
Uh-huh.
creating.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's
Uh-huh.
scary. That's
Uh-huh.
scary. Okay,
Yep.
that's a later problem. Got to figure out this
Uh-huh.
one first.
Start with problem 1, making a garment. Problem 2,
Make it work.
yeah. Problem 2 is size inclusivity. Problem 1 is make a complete garment. Now I
Yeah,
feel like
it's
you have
like
a very clear understanding of how I end up restarting Shawl 7, 8, 9, 10
yeah,
times.
yeah, yeah.
It's
I
not
just
easy,
like well,
guys.
because you're doing like fancy shawl stuff. I didn't anticipate like literally the simplest sweater I can conceive of
Hmm.
taking this long to
Yep.
design. It is the whole premise of this sweater is it is the simplest thing I can conceive of. I have named it now
Okay, good.
after
That's a
a
whole other problem.
software design principle.
Okay.
This is going to be when it's done the KISS sweater, which is an
Keep
acronym for
keep it simple.
Keep It Simple Stupid.
Yep.
But I'm gonna go with keep it super simple, so it's not like
Oh,
you're not stupid.
cute.
Yeah,
Well, yes, because yeah, saying someone's stupid's kind of
yeah,
it's
yeah.
schoolyard
It's
bullying
a
is what it is.
yeah, and it's like self-deprecating and like no, we're not about that. So
Yeah,
it's keep it super simple. It's gonna be the keep it super simple
super
sweater
simple.
or the kiss
Excellent.
sweater.
Yeah,
It's just simple, simple. Whenever it's getting too hard, just like rip it back. Keep it simple.
keep it simple
The whole point of this endeavor is that it's simple.
for everybody but the designer.
Yes, well, after I've learned all about sleeves 18 times, then it'll be super simple for everybody else.
On the bright side, you'll be so confident in your sleeve knitting skill set after
Yeah.
this. It will
Oh
be
my
kind of
gosh.
ridiculous.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna
Kind of
know sleeves
ridiculous.
inside out and backwards, like literally.
It helps. It helps with understanding.
You know the worst part? I'm already starting to think about like what other like software design principle names can I give to sweater pattern designs?
Oh boy. Means I should
Oh,
throw a
like
sweater pattern design that's in my head at you and get you to do it for me.
oh maybe. Okay. All
Woo!
right, podcast anniversary. Let's have it.
Let's talk sweaters, because the rest of what we got is shawls. In my So Into Knitting bag, which is this beautifully lightly quilted Halloween bag with no zipper. I feel strongly about this no zipper thing, guys. I cast it on during our live yesterday for our podcast anniversary cast on the Half Moon Tea by Dragon Horde Yarns. The rules for the podcast anniversary this year pretty simple. We'll go over it here in a few seconds, but the bulk of it is I completed an entire row of ribbing. How proud are we of me? Just one
Ooh.
row. Just one row. That's it. And the ribbing will get fairly lost because it's a heavily variegated yarn that I'm using. The main body of my sweater is going to be in Zen Yarn Gardens uh, Country Girl line, I think, or whatever. The colorway is the National Park of Ireland or Gallery of Ireland. I have the ball band in here somewhere. I've actually got a whole skein that I haven't even started. I haven't even caked. I've caked 2 of the 3 skeins I have. Yeah, it's Cottage Girl, and it's the National Gallery of Ireland. So it's based off a painting called The Cottage Girl that's in the National Gallery of Ireland, I think. So
Okay.
very, very, very pretty. Zenyard Gardens does some superbly gorgeous yarn. It's so freaking pretty. For the color work, I am going to use not the other cake I have of Zen Yarn Gardens. Because it is a color work yoke sweater. It's got a moon design on it because it was originally published in the Pom Pom Lunar collection. I've bought it separately now that it's available separately, but I am doing the big stripe of solid color in some beautiful Noble Ruby designs that I got from her several years ago. I don't even know if she's still dying anymore. And then I'm doing the other color work color that I have. My other contrast color is this beautiful bluey green from Knit Picks called Bennett in their alpaca fingering that they don't have anymore. So these are the 3 colors together. I am not making it cropped. I'm not making it boxy. Those are things that don't look good on me. So I have the 3 skeins. It will be fitted and full length. Will I do full length sleeves? That I haven't decided. I
Might
really hate
depend how much
sleeves.
yarn you have.
Yeah, I would really rather have the full like a full body. Like if I've got to shorten the sleeves. Oh no. Also fingering weight sleeves. I struggle to do worsted weight sleeves. We'll see how that goes. So I've started that. I have till the end of March. I might not work on it this week. I might work on the other 2 projects instead, and this blanket. But that is my podcast anniversary cast on.
Okay.
Woot!
I knitted the swatch during the cast on yesterday.
Hey, I successfully casted on the right number of stitches the first time.
Nice. So this was the swatch I knitted yesterday. This is Robo Sheep Yarns in Gravity, which unintentionally matches my nails today. I'm like 3 years old. I have purple nails and purple glasses and purple yarn, and
Your favorite color is purple. So this is not like
I
it's a
dyed my hair
shock to me.
purple.
You like purple.
I'm 3 years old and my favorite color is purple.
It's a reason one of our logo colors is purple is because you love purple.
It's a great color. Come on, that's a great color. Come on.
Our other color is red, but it's because it's like my favorite color is like pink reds is among there. I knit and wear all sorts of colors, but we're technically Red Hat Dress Club Society ladies, even though we're too young still.
We totally are. 100% joining as soon as I'm old enough.
My grandma was a member when she was alive. I am so joining that society if it's still around when I hit 65. I am so joining. That is just the coolest thing my grandmother has ever done.
They just always look like they're having so much fun.
They go on trips. They go for lunches. They hang out together. It is the penultimate girlfriend thing. Just, can't wait.
It's great.
I cannot wait to be old.
I should say what pattern I'm even making.
You should.
I'm making the Ome tea by Noriko Ho. I remember from yesterday.
Oh, good,
Ome
good.
tea.
I put it on my favorites list, guys. It's probably going to get purchased this year. It's so
pretty.
I
put the Half Moon tea on my favorites list. It's in my cart right now.
Yep, that happened.
It was a strong contender, but then you were making it. I'm like, I should do something different. So this is a cap sleeve t-shirt that kind of can go as long as you want. I had initially conceived of doing the cropped length with 3 skeins, but then I had 4 skeins that looked really good together, so I guess I'm just going to go longer.
Just do the full
See how long it comes out. I don't have to do sleeves, so. So I did actually cast it on yesterday. I have done, I did the cast on and 2 rounds because, so I hacked the pattern right out the gate. Well, because the pattern says cast on your 100 and whatever stitches, and then a few rounds later you can go back and do this, like pick up all those stitches and do an I-cord bind off.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
why not just make an I-cord start?
Yeah, why not just do an I-cord cast on?
Yeah.
So, which I'd never done before, but I knew it was a thing. So I looked up how to do it, and so I did that, and it took like approximately 1.5 years.
What have secretly I just 2022. We forgot to let you guys know.
I threw something on the floor and it wasn't a needle, so I'm not going to panic too much about it. I think it may have been stitch markers.
It sounded like stitch
it was
markers.
My beginning. Yeah, it was my beginning of round marker. It's on the floor somewhere. Okay, that's okay. It's just a turtle. That's a shame. I was going to show it off. It was a cute little turtle. Oh well, you can see it next week. Yeah. So this I-cord cast on took approximately 1.5 years.
Okay, cool. I didn't know we'd skipped 2021 so well, but
I know, right? But it looks so great. Let's see if I can make it focus on this and not my face.
An I-cord cast on will be so clean.
It already does. Like this is the neck opening for this thing, and it's beautiful.
Yep. And you don't have to pick up or do a provisional cast on.
Yeah, I just have like one little totally end to weave in, and it's fine.
Totally worth it.
So like this is gonna be so great.
I'm so excited.
So this is my color 1 that goes till, I don't know, roughly till I run out.
Give or take, yeah.
Yeah. And then I can do either a linen stitch or a honeycomb stitch. I think I'm going to do a linen stitch fade into this color, my color B.
Okay. Yeah.
Put that down. So this is color A. This is color B, which is, I have the tag here. It is Manos de Uruguay Algria in Pastel Tiza. Tiza. Tiza?
One of the two.
Anyway, so we're going to do a linen stitch fade between those, which will happen somewhere just below shoulder length, I think. Okay. That's my plan.
About approximately when you're 2/3 done your first cake.
Yeah. And there's notes, like this pattern is written to be hacked and like
Oh,
modified, and like this
love
this
it.
pattern is 15 pages.
I love it.
Like,
I love
and it
it.
goes from size tiny to size, like it goes from size like very small. I don't what size what? Like I'm doing the size 5 or
That
6.
fits
Hang on, let
you.
me open it. It
You
goes
were
from size 1, which is
a
la la
lovely
la.
number,
Yeah,
but
size.
not a chest measurement.
Okay, there we go. Chest circumference of
Mhm.
27 inches up to
Wow.
a chest measurement of 62.5 inches.
That's a size inclusive sweater, Diana.
Yeah,
That's
but it means
beautiful.
that very often the pattern will just split into 3 separate chunks. Like if you're doing 1 to 5, do this chunk. If you're doing the middle chunk, do this bit. And if you're doing the last bit, do this other bit. And like
You
for
have
these
to.
2 particular sizes, do this extra thing. It's like, oh
You
gosh,
have
this
to.
is hard to read.
Yeah. Well, you'd have to because
You
just
do
to
have to, yeah.
accommodate the size range
But
difference.
it's
Yeah. But kudos. That is a heck of a size inclusivity going on there.
yeah,
Beautiful.
so like size tiny to size large.
Yep. Yep. That's fine.
Yeah. So and then
You just don't find a
con
lot of patterns like that. That is so good.
and I'm very conveniently roughly the same size as the designer, and she modeled her own pattern. So I'm like, oh, what size should I make? Oh, you're my size. What size did you make? And my
Beautiful.
gauge was slightly off, so I was going to make the size 7, which is 39.5 inches across the
Okay.
bust.
Yeah.
But then I realized my gauge was slightly off, and if I make that size with slightly fewer stitches per inch, I think that means it comes out even bigger. So I'm making the smaller size that she made,
Okay.
which is a size 5, um, which is 35.5 inches across the bust, but with my weird gauge will be different. So like some negative ease is going to happen.
That's fine. You
But I'm
have
making
a disparity, like, okay, it's not quite as extreme as mine these days because you fixed that problem. You
yeah.
have a size disparity between the size of your underbust and the size of your chest.
Oh yeah.
So you've got some wiggle room in there. So you
Yeah.
might be a little snug around the girls, but you won't be snug anywhere else. So like that should be fine.
Yeah. And like if I just zoom really far into,
Yeah, it'll just look
this is
like
gonna look terrible, but
a nice fitted
like
tee.
that's I'm
It'll
going
just be a
for
fitted tee.
yeah, I'm going for a fit like that, so it's not like skin tight, but it's
Yeah.
not loose in any way.
No, I think that's gonna look really good. I know I saw the pattern and I immediately put it in my cart. I was like, "You're being
I
purchased
know she
this
even
year."
did it in like purples and pinks and stuff, and like blues and like.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Okay, right. I did not finish showing off all my colors, so
Nope.
so we've got these 2, and we've only got to just below shoulder length.
We've now
Then
reached the underarms. It's an exciting area of the body.
so from B to C, which I'm hoping to make happen just under the bust, I'm going to do that honeycomb stitch because it has a little bit of a color work effect.
Okay.
And so I'm going to go from the dark purples and blues
To yellow.
to yellow with a little bit of a green speckle.
I'm so excited for that pop of color.
Yeah, so it's going to have a pop of color around my waist, which is good because I just have an hourglassy figure and that works for me. I'm happy about that.
You are what is it I always say every time you take a good photo with you and your husband? The pair of you are disgustingly good looking. I love you both.
We photograph very well.
It is very offensive to me. I love you both. You know
Sorry.
I love you. You know I have to point out I do not photograph that well. I do not photograph that well. It's distressing to me. You are 2 very good looking people and you photograph very well.
It's a skill.
It's a photograph. Yes, it is. It
It
really
is. You got to know your angles and your lighting. Like the light's
gotta
coming
know.
from here, so you got to stand like here. And I know that for me personally, my best angle is just above eye line and just off to the right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a learned behavior is what it is. What is hilarious is because I spend time with their family, like her husband's family, because I'm friends with her brother-in-law and stuff. They all do this instinctively, which tells you how often they are photographed.
It's a survival mechanism.
It really is. My family doesn't do photos that way. They don't do photos that way.
If you want to eat your dinner while it's hot, you learn how to pose.
Yeah. Like, oh my God.
Which, like, not mad. Like
It is what
it's
it is. It's funny.
ridiculous, and
It is
I don't know. It's just a silly thing of the
terribly
family.
amusing. It is terribly amusing. Both your mom and your mother-in-law both do it.
My mom is not nearly as bad.
No, no, no. But like I come from a family where the only photos we take are the family photos we pay for once every decade. That's it, people.
Yeah, no, we take more photos than that. My dad's actually started asking for photos. Just like, I don't have any photos of you. I'm like, I can send you some random selfies, but like,
sure, I guess.
Feels weird. Like I took these for Instagrams. It's not the kind of thing you send to your parents, you know.
Usually not. No, no, no. No, I think it's terribly cute. But yeah, I like that yellow right around your waistline is going to look so good. It's going to look so good. I'm so excited.
So then I'll do the honeycomb fade from the yellow into this more blue than purple color. It's got a slight green tint to it, so I hope it'll go with the green speckle.
I think what it does is it picks up into that yellow really nicely with that green, and it gives it a beautiful blend. So yeah, I think it's gonna look real good.
And then this one, it ends with a lace around the bottom.
Okay. So are you gonna do honeycomb into the yellow and honeycomb out of the yellow?
Yeah, honeycomb around the yellow and linen stitch
for the
between
rest.
these two. Yeah.
Okay. All right, that makes sense.
Because there's only 3 fades.
Yeah.
Well, spaces between colors. So yeah, honeycomb around the yellow so that it does the color work thing, and then linen for the others, so it's a slightly more gradual fade.
Oh, I think that's. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. You've gotta make sure that's a thing you work on.
Yes, I would be working on it right now, except I have to count stitches for increases, and I can't do that and do this at the same time.
That's fair. That's fair.
Otherwise, I'd be working on it right now. I'm going to work on it and watch Critical Role after this. Because some things happened, and I need to know.
I know. You're still catching up, so you can binge. I can't binge. I can't binge. I'm stuck, and they ended on a semi-cliffhanger. I'm stuck until they get back on the 14th.
All right. I have 1 more week to catch up. Okay, good.
You have 1 more week to catch up. They're not on this week. They're on next week. You got some.
Well, I'm on episode. I'm about to start episode 70, so you know.
You're hauling keister.
I'm doing my best.
All right. Blow my nose. I'll do Stephen West and then MCal.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's talk Stephen West. He is doing a hibernation, staycation. He's doing a knit along.
Knit along?
Something.
I thought really hard about joining, but
I'm doing the Winter Lights shawl. So I'm currently making my way through color 1, my main color, and my first contrast color, which for me is this beautiful wheat gold that I have. And I think it's Manos de Ergue or Madeline Tosh. I don't know which one it is anymore, but that's fine. Because it's a rescued and it's an old skein from my stash. But I am just in section 2, so I'm just doing these little slip stitch stripe things. But that looks way better. I recasted this on. So the original colors that I was doing my main color and my contrast color in weren't working for me. This is working a crap ton better.
Yeah, that looks so good.
This looks much better.
That looks really great.
It looks much, much better. So I've got a ways to go. I didn't work on it as much as I wanted this week. I kind of got distracted with MCALs and live chats and hanging out and just not being terribly productive. Which is totally fine. I crocheted 80 squares and I've been sewing things. So like I just haven't been productive on this. It lives in a ginger snap that Halloween bag. Sensing a theme, people. I love Halloween. This one's got gold spiderwebs on the inside. Gold spiderwebs. So the gray is Cascade Heritage. The gold is a mystery skein. I think it's Manos de Uruguay, but I will inevitably end up getting into my bottom 2 colors, which is this red and this beautiful teal blue, the teal blue is Twisted Fae, and it's got sparkle in it.
I love that.
So this is
so good.
Going to be a beautiful, moody, wintry shawl. Super freaking stoked. All right. That's my Winter Lights. I'm not doing the chevron one. I'm doing the Winter Light ones. So it is a half circle. So these rows get excessive. Did I look at the stitch count? No, I'm not silly. I'm not doing that to myself. I won't look at it till I get there. That's crazy talk.
I thought really hard about joining, but I didn't want to do another foreskein shawl with
Mhm.
the podcast anniversary knit along and the other mystery knit along I got convinced into, that I kind of convinced myself into.
Totally
I
talked
was
yourself into.
enabled into, let's be honest. I was
Talked yourself
enabled, not
into.
convinced.
Talked yourself into.
Yeah, I
Stuck your
did.
foot in your mouth. I called
Yeah,
you
I
out on
did.
it.
Yeah, you did.
So we'll talk about our last things together because we're both doing the Cozy Up Knits Mystery Cal. So anybody keeping track, that is 2 shawls at fingering weight, a sweater at fingering weight, and a blanket on my to-go list right now. Do I know how to do small projects? Do I even know how anymore?
Do you know what a hat is?
Please.
How about a pair of socks?
God, I have a pair of socks somewhere that need heels so I can go up the body of the foot, body of the leg. It's time for the secret of the Bentley bag. Guys, my mom bought a new bag this year, which is why she got the fancy Bentley bag, which I immediately got because it's a swag bag. She doesn't use those, which is fine because they also had a new pull cart. Like the you see the little old ladies with the shopping trolleys behind them? I
Yeah.
am one of those little old ladies.
Oh
But they
yeah, me
had
too.
one with an extended handle and better wheels.
Oh.
So they've got a double wheel system. So you've got your primary wheel and then it's got a smaller wheel on top of it so it flips. So it's like super stable. And it comes with an insulated pocket on the back of it for small amounts of frozen goods. My mom took
Dang.
my old shopping trolley and got me the fancy one because they were having a sale. And she was like, "Hello, super fancy. It's got to happen."
I just used mine to bring the groceries up from the car.
No, I walk everywhere, so I'm missing a
Where?
skein. So apparently, oh, it's over there. Cool. I completely missed
What's it
grabbing it.
doing over there?
I don't know, guys. We're chewing in the MCal because this is the bag I knocked over. And while I go grab my missing skein, I am sure Diana would love to tell you about her colors, and we'll give out spoiler warnings. Even though this is going to be going up probably like Wednesday, Thursday, and the clues come out on Friday. If you don't want to be
Nonetheless,
spoiled,
if you're doing the Cozy Up Knits mystery knit along, my sister's favorite things shawl, and you don't want spoilers for Clue 1,
be
look
careful.
away now, fast forward a few minutes.
Yeah.
This is what we're talking about.
This is what we're going to talk about for a bit. And while Diana shares her colors, I'm going to drop the blanket that's on my lap that's currently causing me to overheat. And I'm going to go get the skein I dropped.
Okay.
You're up.
All right. So while stash diving for the podcast anniversary knit along, I came across these 2 matching skeins of DK, which is exactly what this shawl calls for. And they were really pretty. And then I started to skein them up. And then I realized they were gradients, and I got really excited. And so, approximately 36 hours after Clue 1 came out, I was done in an unprecedented finish of a knit along clue, of a mystery knit along clue. Unprecedented.
Like I have till Friday.
Hours.
I have till Friday. I'm not done Clue 1. I have till Friday, people.
I'm gonna blame these amazing colors, so I'm just gonna hold this up.
Hold it
I've been
up.
knitting
It's
from
so
this one.
gorgeous.
So this is let me find a ball band because I don't quite remember. Where did I put the ball band?
Hey,
Seriously,
getting up was great and let all that heat that I trapped under the blanket out. Oh, I'm much cooler now.
Ball band. The blue brick. This base is Escarpment DK. And the colorway is Berry Vanilla. And it goes from pure white to dark purple. But it glows. So I wound the first skein so that the white was on the outside.
Yep.
And then I wound the second skein so the white was on the inside. And they look wildly different, but it's the same yarn. So I have started with the white, and I'm going to go down into the purple, and then I'll knit the other ball from the outside in and go from purple back to white. So it'll like boomerang the colors with a wide band of purple in the middle.
Oh, this would be so beautiful.
So, oh, and then my contrast color texture, whatever, is this mysterious ball of 2-ply lace wool. It does not have a tag. It was either, that means I did not buy it. It was either given to me or I got it in a yarn exchange. I'm leaning towards yarn exchange. So I don't know how old it is. I don't know what it's made of. I can tell from feeling it. It is wool of some sort, 100%. And it's a 2-ply lace weight. And that is all I can tell you about this. This is the best behaved cake of yarn I have ever wound in my life. Like, it is just so well behaved. I think it's because the
Oh,
yarn is slightly toothy. Like, there's a hole in the middle. Like, I can see through the hole in the middle of this thing, and I wound it 3 days ago. Like,
it
this is the
looks like
best behaved cake in the world.
it looks like a lot of my cakes that I make when I use Brings a Little yarn because it's got just a touch of tooth. They just cake way better than any
So
superwash
good, so
merino I
good.
have ever used. It's
Yeah,
so
like,
nice. It's
wow.
so nice. So
Okay.
nice. Apparently, I've had hair in the middle of my forehead the whole time. Cool.
Oh,
Whatever.
I didn't see it.
I
Okay.
have really fine baby hair. We know I didn't. All right. My cakes don't look nearly as good. And after Diana's done showing you clue one, I will show you what little progress I've made.
Okay. So this is a finished clue one, so if you don't want to see it, look away.
Yep.
I'll just show the whole thing here.
Yep.
I
God, that purple.
Right? I love how this gradient is working with the feather and fan lace. And I
Oh,
wasn't totally
so
sold
good.
on the gray when
But
I didn't know what
now,
it was going to be doing. But now that I know that it's like a short row slice,
yeah,
this cord is not nearly long enough. It's the longest cord I have.
yeah. Nope, that's
So
gonna
just
be.
go with me. It's a short row slice. This is going to be, I assume, a half circle or crescent shawl.
I'm thinking it's gonna probably maybe be close to like the exploration station that also
Probably,
uses
yeah.
those short row slices.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But yeah, the gray next to the dark purple. So like good call because I think I was on with you and also when I started this
Yeah.
and maybe Aaron as well.
I
And
think so.
um
Yeah.
and so I was asking for opinions whether I should start dark or light. And the consensus was start light, and I'm so glad that I did because that's
Mm-hmm.
just so
Mm-hmm.
that the gray is next to the dark, and it's so good. It's so good. I love it so much. I love everything about this. This thing has options for an edging. There is the easy garter stitch edging, which looks just fine. But of course, I wanted to do the new and different and complicated cabled edging. Cabled edge cast on is the hardest freaking thing that I have ever done in my knitting life. So
Because
hard.
you are crazy.
So
You are
hard.
crazy. People have got to be laughing because I've been making your crazy symbols at your head while you've got the shawl up
I
talking
know
about that
I can't see
cast
you.
on.
I absolutely cannot see you. But it's making this gorgeous cabled edge that's like rolling over nicely and making this little like rope thing.
Do not
It's
get me
like
wrong.
it's really nice.
It's a beautiful edging detail. I didn't do it. I looked at it. I read it. I was like, that's going to be gorgeous. I did the garter tab.
Yeah, so like yeah. If you're looking for an easy knit, don't do the cabled edging. The rest of the shawl is fine. The cabled
Do the garter.
edging is because you got to keep track of that in addition to everything else that you're doing.
I didn't want to. I did not want to.
Yeah,
I'm
so if
super
you
glad you did because it looks great and it looks
I
so
love
good
it.
with that
I'm
yarn.
very happy about it.
Oh, I would have gone insane. I would have gone
Yeah,
insane.
so I am absolutely loving this, and I hate that I have to wait until Friday to get the next clue. I'm
Question
very
will be
sad.
will it be 36 hours for clue 2? We'll
I don't know
find
because I
out
gotta
next
pack.
week.
I get the keys to my house next week, so we'll see.
We'll see. Okay.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll
We'll
see
see.
how late I stay up knitting on Friday night when the clue comes out.
That's totally fair. All right. So, using another one of the Cascade Heritage skeins I got for Christmas, my mom, in distinctive, great mom ingeniousness, sent me money and said, buy yarn and order it, and then don't open it till Christmas, which I did. So, she got me 2 sweater quantities and a couple of fingering weight skeins of Cascade Heritage for me to play with. This is the second one. It's light gray instead of dark gray. I didn't think they'd come in handy quite that fast. Shows what I know. I'm doing it in fingering, not in DK, because they call for a 4.5 millimeter needle. And if I knit DK and a 4.5 millimeter needle, it would be stiff enough to stand up on its own. Guys, that half moon tee to get gauge, she recommends a 2.75. I get gauge on a 3.75 in stockinette in the round.
Good grief.
I knit tight. So I was like, it's a 4.5 millimeter needle. I'm doing fingering. So I pulled 3 fingering skeins that I like. I'm doing it on a 4 millimeter because I like the texture and the drape I get on a 4 millimeter on a finger. And I will just add length to that bottom section if I've got leftover yarn and keep increasing before I bind off, because you can do that sort of thing. My second gray isn't an exact match. It is this Aurora yarn that Diana got a bunch from when she did the Strickmick group 2 years ago, I think. She got this beautiful gray with slightly speckled purple. This caked worth garbage. It's absolutely the worst cake I've done in ages. I may recake it. It annoys me so much. This has got a little bit of purple going through. You can't really see the cake format, but this will be my second gray skein. And then my contrast, can you tell we like gray and purple on this podcast? Is a mystery purple skein with little flecks of pink in it. So this will be where Diana's gray is. This is where my purple will go. So I will be gray and purple. Diana will be purple and gray.
Yep. I
It's
like
almost
it.
like we're friends that like similar colors or something crazy.
Goodness.
But I've only done the garter tab cast on, and I have not started the feather and fan section. So there's really nothing to spoil. Here's a stockinette piece of gray. That's it. I was going to work on it last night. We ended up gaming instead. So that did not happen. So, but I have till Friday to finish my clue. So I'm doing fine. It's fine. This is how my day works. But yeah, I think I'm going to recake that darker gray skein because I just have a heck of a time with it. I'm not happy with how it caked up at all. It wants to be on the floor. This is the one that fell on the floor earlier, and I didn't realize it was on the floor. Now it's disappeared on top of a blanket or something.
Oh no.
I've already lost it. Whatever. I'll find it again here in a few moments. So I've got those
It's
two
heading
going
for the
on.
hills.
It's running away on me. It knows I'm going to recake it. That's why. So that's what's going on. But that's the last thing I worked on this week. I feel like 3 cast-ons, technically 4, because I started one Christmas Day in the last 2 weeks, is sufficient. I don't think I need to start anything else right now, because I don't. So we could move on to a non-knitting section. I've literally taken the blanket.
Okay.
I've taken my blanket off because I'm so warm.
Next section is wool gathering.
Hey, that's where we put everything else.
I will quickly run through the Patreon. Knit In is the second last Saturday of each month, which is, I wrote down the date, January the 23rd at noon Central Standard Time, otherwise known as Manitoba time.
Bingo.
That is when we get together on a video chat with our Patreon members.
Patreon members who are $5 or more a month are included in the Patreon e-knitting every month. If you join at any level denomination, you get in on the Discord chats, you get the extra videos, you get the blog posts and stuff. But you have to be $5 or more a month for the e-knitting.
Yep. Those words. Thank you.
You're welcome. We wanted to say welcome to our first new member of 2021. I got the email last night notifying me that we had a brand new Patreon member, so I'm going to go send off all the intro stuff here once we're done. And the Discord link, because you get that at any level. And the Discord is live 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can find somebody in there talking.
Oh, yeah. In theory, the Discord link should have been automatically set up or automatically sent out, so
I have
we'll
not
see.
checked.
We'll see.
I will double check, and if it has, then we're good, and I can just send
the
other
in
stuff.
your welcome email, make sure you check in that they got the Discord link, because if they didn't, I will send one manually.
Excellent.
It's supposed to send automatically, but I'm not certain that it does.
Cool.
This will be a test. This is our first new person to sign up, I think, since we set that up.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So we'll double check, and I'll make sure to inquire so we know what's going on. I will do that. That is the thing. So yay! More people in the chat group. Literally all day, because we're all over the world. Like at any point in the day, somebody's in there chatting. I actually hear the vibrating in my sister's phone from upstairs. That is how violent it is. Holy Hannah. All right. We've got the podcast anniversary going on, so here's where we're going to info dump the rules for you. If you want to join, you have more than enough time, guys. We just officially got started 3 days ago, like 6 days by the time you see this. That's a thing. So
yeah, like we cast on literally yesterday.
Literally, we did a live yesterday to cast on. Any project that involves 2 or more skeins of yarn and counts as an adult-sized garment or shawl counts. No one skein wonders, no 2 skein quickies, or like 2 skeins or more. Gotta balance the workload out. Other than that, the only other rule is the designer must be new to you. So, never knit from Stephen West, knit a Stephen West pattern. Never knit from Dragon Horde yarns, do Dragon Horde yarns. There's a lot of designers out there. Bonus points if you find a new to you BIPOC designer, because that is a focus for me specifically this year, and for Diana this year. We're going to try to put our money where our mouth is and knit more projects from people who are not in that first 3-page list. Not the Hohi Locatellis or the, I don't know, pick another big name. There's many of them. We're not going to be perfect at it because we're going to get distracted with stuff we like.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're human, but we're going to try to sort of make that our focus when we can. And I've already added, I think we both already added Rico. This is
Kawamura,
maybe
something
she
like that.
made the rosette sweater. She made the rosette
Yes.
sweater, and we're both in love with it. So, like, I've already added a new favorite designer to our list,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the 3rd of January. So it's doable. It's doable. You have to hunt, but it is doable. So that is for bonus points for that. We're running to the end of March because why not? There is a
That's birthday
Ravelry
month.
thread. It is birthday month. It's podcast anniversary month. It's birthday month. It's a month of cake. We should just call it Cake Month.
Cake month. Yeah. March is cake month.
It's Cake Month. So that's totally game. You guys, if you like using Ravelry, there are threads there. People do chat in there. Please, you won't see me and Diana very often because neither one of us like forums. And that's an aspect of Ravelry we don't use. I hate them.
They exist.
I don't use them. But Asa, the lovely moderator of Gloriousness, is in there, and she is absolutely on the ball. Because if you've joined our Facebook group in the last 2 months, it's been Asa that's let you in. Because by the time I look at my phone to look at Facebook, she's already done it.
Yep, same.
I'm like, oh, we have a, oh, never mind.
Like, and by the time I tap on that notification, it's like, oh, there's nothing here. Like, oh, well, somebody already dealt with that.
Cool. I'm
like, I only got this 20 minutes ago.
How did that even? So yes, praise be to the god that is Asa, and she certainly helps us out with a bunch of that. So we do have the stuff posted everywhere. If you are not a Ravelry user, do not blame you. Again, we do have a Facebook group. We are active on Instagram, and we do absolutely chat via email and other formats. So you can find us other places that suit you best. Here in the comments below. I'm not consistent, but I do try. Diana and I both have, a lot of jobs. Both of us wear many hats.
I mean, I have like one job, but it consumes a lot of hours.
I have many jobs that don't consume a lot of hours, but overall they kind of add up real quick. So that's how that works. But that's the thing we're running till March. Plus whatever else I get suckered into. We know it's me. You always know it's me.
Do.
Diana might set me up to fall for a sucker punch and join something because she can say no and she knows I can't. I call her correctly. I said I wasn't going to do this MCAL.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I wonder if I can like go back like 3 or 4 episodes and find that one where you said you were absolutely not doing the Cozy Up Knits MCAL.
You could, but I do the video editing, so I'm not sure how that's going to help you.
Yes, but see, I still have account access, so I can download the video and get the clip.
Yeah, get the clip. Put it in there.
Actually, I believe Diana. You may have even said that on a live, which means I just have the raw video.
Oh yeah, I've absolutely said it because I absolutely bet I did not have time. That has not changed. I do not have time for this MCAL. I do not know why I'm doing it. Am I going to enjoy it? Absolutely. Will it stress me out? You betcha. Do I care? No, no farts. Absolutely no farts. I've done this to myself. I knew I was going to do it to myself. It's fine.
I just think it's funny.
Yep.
I believe I even said at the time, tune in next week when Jocelyn has started the MCAL.
What I love is how you literally said you weren't going to do an MCAL, you hate deadline knitting, and then you literally put start an MCAL on your knitting bingo card for this year.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that.
Hi, pot. I'm the kettle.
Really didn't think about that.
So, but I think that's it for wool gathering. It's just our normal info dump section,
Oh,
as the case may be. Oh no,
I
you wanted to
got
show
some
off
Christmas
things.
presents I got handmade Christmas presents from other people that I did
You
not make,
did. You
and I wanted to
did.
show them off because this seemed like a good venue for it.
It is well, it is the place where we put everything else.
Okay. So my brother got into embroidery this year. Well, he's been into it for so my brother does embroidery. So he made me and Mr. Diana this really cute little
Oh my
robot
god, that's
thing.
adorable.
Two little robots with a little heart and they're holding hands and lightning bolts. It's so
That is so
freaking
cute.
cute,
That is adorable. Oh my
isn't
god.
it? I love it. I love it so much.
Oh, so pretty.
And then Mr. Diana's grandmother,
Yep.
who's long passed and I have never met, but she had made a set of needlepoint pillows.
Oh, did you
Needlepoint.
get the pillows?
Well, they've been split up among all of the children, so we have in our home now this gorgeous poppy pillow that looks absolutely spectacular on camera, I have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is like a hand done needlepoint, some kind of thing. I don't actually know what craft this is. I'm gonna get real close so you can maybe see this texture and somebody can tell me what this is. Cross stitch, maybe? I literally have no idea what this craft is called.
That's okay. It looks gorgeous.
Yeah, so we now have this lovely poppy pillow that lives on our dark gray couch and looks quite nice.
Oh my god, that would look great on your couch.
Yeah, so handmade Christmas presents.
That is the joy of handmade, is it not? I'm weaving in ends as I go, as I find them, to hopefully reduce the volume of just random ends I have to find at the end.
The sweater is so warm. I'm so glad it's cropped. It's so warm. It's sitting in my lap right now trying to knit this sleeve, and it's so warm.
I have a queen size blanket in my bed. I'm with you.
Oh, melting. Okay. I think that just leaves us with literature.
Yep. It's time to
Books.
talk books.
It's books. I
It's
met
time to
my
sip
goal of
tea.
24 books in 12 months, which is like nothing compared to Jocelyn's 100 or whatever it is. But it's a lot. It's twice as many books as I read the year before, so that's a big win for me.
I finally checked the books that I bought and read that were manga this year, and I have read 24 of them. So add that to the 71 regular books I read. That's how many books I read this year. 95.
Yeah,
That's
that's
71
a lot
plus
more
24,
books.
right? That's math. Does that work?
I think
80,
so.
90. Yep, that's 95.
So I know I've read like nothing compared to you, but that's twice as many as I read the year before. So I'm happy. And also, my only reading BIPOC authors that I imposed on myself at the end of July, I think, I
Yeah,
successfully did that too.
which is good. A reading goal is personal. It should be for you,
Yeah.
not for anybody else, and not based on anybody else's reading habits. Never, ever, never, ever, ever, ever. Should
No, I
only be
find as
for
soon
you.
as hobbies get competitive, they cease to be fun.
Hobbies, and they're not fun. I enjoy reading, so that's it makes more sense for me to have a higher goal because I just do it more. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
That's fair.
It does not matter. I also don't read very often with my eyes. I tend to read exclusively through my ears. So because my eyes wouldn't handle that level of written wordage anymore. I don't see well enough to do that anymore, guys. I do a lot on Audible for a reason. It's about the only way for me to consume books these days. I can do a couple by digital, but I can't do any by print anymore. So, woohoo! Either way, I've already read a book for the year. I'm, in fact, almost on my second book for the year.
Good grief. Okay. Okay.
They're short books. They don't take that long. I'm also sewing a blanket, and so that I don't get distracted, I put a book on because if I put on an anime or a TV show, I start watching it because I get bored because I'm sewing a blanket.
Right. That makes sense.
There's two purposes to this, guys. I'm threading more yarn. I decided I needed a palette cleanser, so I went for how to un-F your brain. I've heard it before. I've listened to it before. It's 3 hours. It's 3 hours and change. It's not a big book. So I'm just about done reading that. I had at first initially thought I'd start off the year with a new romance, so I picked a new to me romance author. Did not enjoy reading it. I finished it. Will not finish the series. Will not continue on with it. Great premise. Did not like the writing that much, but that was called Heartmate by something Owens.
Robin?
There you go.
D.
Yep.
Owens, I wrote down.
Yep. Yeah, that's the one. So I'm almost 2 books in, and it's the third.
All right.
Cool.
I'm going to follow up with. So when I first imposed my BIPOC author thing in July, I realized I had 2 books on my shelf, only one of which I hadn't read before that fit
Okay.
my criteria. So I started reading The Sky's Not the Limit, which is memoirs from Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yep.
And yeah, I don't particularly like reading memoirs of
Memoirs can
physicists,
be
it turns
hard.
out.
Memoirs can be hard.
So I started that at the end of July, and I finished it the afternoon of December 31st.
Yeah, you find memoirs hard.
Yeah, it's not a long book. It was 189 pages, and it took me like 6 months to read. I was not into it, but I finished it, and that was my it was my 24th book.
Hey, you got it done. That's the important part.
I am still listening to Children of Blood and Bone. Well, while I do chores, I have not been doing a lot of chores, so I have not been doing a lot of listening, which is where that's at.
Crazy lady.
But we've hit the point in the young adult fantasy novel where the enemy becomes the friend.
Good.
We've turned the tables, and the enemy is now the friend, and there's
Good.
a new enemy.
That's how that works.
Yep. So we hit that plot point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little over halfway now.
Good.
It's a long book. Like, it's a 17-hour thing on Scribed.
Uh-huh.
And like, this is a beefy book.
It's a beefy book. It's also a very good book. There's a reason why we rave about it still.
It is good. I'm very much enjoying it.
Very well done book. All right. Once I'm done how to un-F your brain, I'm not sure where I'm going to go. I got a couple options sitting in front of me that I have heard about recently that I'm interested in. And I have always, if I'm ever in need of inspiration, because sometimes you don't know what you want to do. And I'm super okay with arbitrarily letting somebody else decide what I'm going to read. That's how you find new authors. That's how you enjoy things. And we got a couple of months before Canada Reads starts dropping long lists and short lists and stuff. So I don't have anything to go by on them. So what I did this year is I wrote down all of the Book Riot's 2021 Read Harder challenges, which I then folded up into little pieces of paper and stuck in a mug. And if I cover the bottom of the mug, I can show you, because the bottom of the mug swears, because it says, "Not today, mother effer, muggle effer." Because that's the thing. So if I don't know what I want to read, I can open it up. I'll stick this back in when I'm done. And this one says, prompt number 20 was read a book of nature poems.
Interesting.
I've read a book of nature poems. So they've got a lot in there. So they've got ones with like LBGTQ plus, written from own voices. So they've got some really good options this year. So I put that in there, which helps because if I'm not sure, but I want to sort of expand my reading horizons, I can just grab from there and then go looking, which I think will be nice.
Most of my bookshelf is things I have never read. So I can just like pick at random. It's like things I haven't read yet that I still want to read, but also things that I read and absolutely loved and will probably read again at some point.
I also sent you a box of books.
You also sent me a box of books that doesn't even fit on my bookshelf. It's stacked next to the bookshelf.
I sent her good books.
Yes. I am legitimately looking at some of those like, I don't have to read you anymore, but like, I want to. These look good.
That's fair. On the bright side, that does mean we're all done, which means we can sign off, and then I can tell you about 2 terribly bad games that I had to purchase that I feel like you might join me with.
Okay.
So until next week, I'll say I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Diana.
And no matter where your week takes you, don't forget to knit.